Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be reacting to a Joe Rogan video. All right, guys. So the title is Woman Who Stabbed Boyfriend 108 Times Gets Probation with Marijuana Psychosis Defense. And I've never watched this yet. I was waiting today to be able to do this video with you guys, and I'm really curious to see what happens. So let us dive in.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Did you see this fucking thing that happened in California where this woman stabbed her boyfriend 108 times and they let her go with community service?
Wait.
They said that she was psychotic from smoking marijuana, which is,
so I don't smoke.
by the way,
I don't smoke.
I've been smoking a long time. I ain't never thought about stabbing one person ever. Forget about someone that you're in a relationship with 108 times.
Man, I just love the humor on that. That's hilarious. Yes, I smoked a lot of weed as well, and I never thought about stabbing somebody, especially 108 times. So very curious to see where this goes. Let's continue.
Yeah,
And
that's something else.
The judge said that the defense was that she had a psychotic break from, I think it was one hit.
So I had a bad panic attack from one hit.
Yeah, you
But-
can have a panic
yeah,
attack with
but-
some strong, especially if you're not a regular smoker.
No, I wasn't.
Was it a bong hit or a joint?
It was a joint. What it was it was my first time actually inhaling.
You went Bill Clinton the way before?
No,
That's
seriously.
what-
And all I remember, I couldn't stop coughing.
Oh,
not realizing
yeah.
each cough is just sending more
Oh,
THC into my
yeah.
system.
Yeah.
And that was that was me really smoking for the first
Yeah.
time. And let's just say, all I remember, I'm sitting on a couch.
Guys, that's hilarious. How many of you have had that experience? The first time you smoke, you just smoke way too much, just yakking and coughing and all that. That's so funny. I definitely know people who have had like panic attacks for sure. And it's interesting because a lot of times the panic attacks will come later on in their smoking career when the THC starts to almost not work anymore. So I had a cousin, I've told you guys this before. She had the CHS, cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome, and ended up having to go to the hospital and was like puking and stuff. And I know my family, and I know another family member of mine had a real psychotic episode multiple times. Every time they tried to quit, they would go into crazy, like they'd have to go to the psych ward. It was nuts. So yeah, again, the way that guy played that was so funny.
Having a massive panic attack watching Eddie Murphy Raw. and how I knew I was fucked up was I've watched Raw multiple times and never have I not laughed my ass off. And I remember sitting there
You were
watching it,
freaking out.
and I was like, this is not funny. This is not. And I was like, oh, dude, something's wrong with you, dude. I was like, something's wrong with you.
You were just freaking out. Yeah, you can freak out, man.
Yeah.
So this is the story.
I mean, it just said that this New York Post said it was just really strong weed, 30% weed.
Whatever, one hit. She stabbed her boyfriend 108 times. I don't care if she took 18 bong hits.
And herself and the dog.
What?
Well, maybe there's something wrong with her, and she
Yeah.
shouldn't get fucking community service.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Dog, and then herself.
She stabbed her
repeatedly.
dog and then stabbed herself repeatedly after deputies were called to their apartment. Okay, first of all, when people kill people, they often kill themselves. This happens to men who kill their girlfriends or their ex-girlfriends. Oftentimes they'll shoot themselves. It happens all the time.
She found out he was cheating.
Well, whatever it was. The whole thing is she received just 2 years of probation, 100 hours of community service, and no prison time.
I would believe that more if it was alcohol.
Even alcohol doesn't make any.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
It would have
Like,
to
I
be
would-
like crystal meth mixed with with fucking
PCP,
angel
yeah,
dust.
yeah.
It's just the lawyers were asked to describe the difference in her case and a fatal drunken driving crash, which Goldstein chalked up to awareness, noting that. I don't know how you say her name. Whatever her last name is, did not know what she was getting herself into, as O'Melia provided the pot but did not show her the warning on the label. What? As far as the DUI is concerned, that person knowingly and consciously drinks to excess and decides to get behind the wheel of a car. In Mrs. whatever her name is case, she took a hit of what she believed to be a legal consumer product in the sanctity of.
All right, guys, what are your thoughts so far on this? This is crazy, man. I know I never got a DUI, and I know that stuff is taken super serious. Even when people like to me, any murder and to get scot-free is kind of weird and a bit of a red flag. Like the story almost doesn't seem real because of like, dude, you brutally murdered someone and you're just gonna get community service. That's crazy. That's like what happens like when teenagers. That's like what happens when teenagers, I don't know, do graffiti or something. They get community service.
Mr. O'Malley's home as they sat on his couch with no plans to go drive home later that evening.
43 times in her neck, she stabbed herself.
She stabbed herself 43 times in the neck. Oh, my God. Well, that's the marks on her neck? Doesn't look like she really tried that hard. Well, listen, people try to kill themselves after they kill somebody. Look, if you're lying there and your boyfriend has got 108 stab wounds and you're like, oh, my God, my life is over. I'm going to jail for the rest of my life.
But why the dog?
Because she's fucking just an angry lady. I mean,
I think she just had a psychotic break, and I don't think it was the weed.
Who knows?
I think she found out something she did not want to find out.
It could
she
be.
Just snapped.
But it might not be that. I mean, she might be fucking legitimately crazy. But either way, 2 hour or 100 hours of community service and 2 years of probation is fucking nuts. He just killed somebody. Yeah. Imagine the roles reversed. Imagine if it was a man who stabbed his wife 100 or his girlfriend 108 times and then stabbed the dog.
The jail.
He'd be under the jail.
Yeah. Death
sentence. Experts for both the defense and the prosecution concluded the pot she smoked caused her to slip into a psychotic state. Now, here's the story. You can have psychotic breaks from marijuana. Mm-hmm. It is possible. Mm-hmm. It's possible to have schizophrenic breaks from marijuana. Mm-hmm. It's well documented with certain people that have
predisposition.
Yes. Yeah. So, but either way, it doesn't make any sense. Marijuana is not a violent drug. Yeah. It's not the kind of drug that makes you want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, right, guys. That's my thought. Like, marijuana didn't make me violent. It made me incredibly lazy. Like, the last thing I wanted to do when I was high was go be violent. So that's it's cracking me up.
Keep in mind, this is coming from somebody who does not like marijuana at all. I don't believe that.
It sounds insane.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
It sounds insane. There's probably a lot more to that story.
Yeah, very much so. Very, very, very much so.
She stabbed herself in the neck. Like, Jesus
that's
Christ.
Crazy.
But deputies used a stun gun on her 4 times, and another deputy hit her with the metal baton multiple times before knocking the knife out of her hand.
While she was stabbing herself or him?
I guess herself. It just didn't say who she was stabbing.
But she might have started stabbing herself when the cops showed up, too. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing is nuts.
I mean, but then again, I've seen, like, I watched a video on the way up here. I didn't watch it. I was listening to it while I was driving on the way up here. And, like, it was this girl. I guess she was drunk or something, and the cops were trying to arrest her, and she completely lost it. I mean, screaming at the top of her lungs. Like, I mean, complete psychotic breakdown.
Yeah.
Just to avoid accountability of the fact that she was driving drunk. So, I mean,
there's some people that are out of their fucking minds, but I just don't think 2 years of probation is enough for that.
No, I mean, I think that
sounds insane.
I think that goes without saying.
It sounds so insane that the judge said that.
Yeah.
But
I want to see the judge. I want to talk to the judge.
Whoa, hold on, too. They were only dating for 3 weeks.
Oh my God! So even if you cheated on her, what the fuck? That doesn't even make any sense.
That wouldn't warrant that.
Dating for each other for about 3 weeks.
Wow. She worked as an audiologist. What is that?
Sound.
And the dude was an accountant. Maybe she stabbed him because he's boring. It's a horrible tragedy all the way around. Swartz said, "It's a tragedy for the victim and his family. It's a tragedy for my client and her family." Yeah. Well, it's certainly a tragedy. But high potency marijuana should put you in a place where you're terrified of everything. You just want
exactly.
Not that you have the ability to grab a knife and stab a guy 108 times. That sounds nuts. That sounds so nuts.
All right, that's pretty much the gist of it. Obviously, check out the full video down below. But man, that's a wild one, guys. I saw it today. I was at the gym. I was just like, interesting. I think this is gonna make a good video topic. Yeah, like I said before, when I was smoking weed, I did not want to be active. I didn't want to be like talking to people, let alone, well, I guess I wasn't, she wasn't in a public area. She was obviously in her home. So yeah, very wild experience, guys. Like, comment down below what your craziest, like, being too high moments were. Gosh, craziest thing I might have done. I probably like just throwing up, like taking too many dab hits and then just like yakking. Like when I was drunk, I did stupid stuff, but on weed, yeah, I just was pretty chill. Actually, that's probably why I liked weed so much, because I was way more chill than when I was drunk or when I was completely sober. So that's why I liked weed so much. It mellowed me out, and then of course until it didn't. Well, no, the craziest thing I did was sell weed and then get robbed a bunch of money, and that was pretty dumb. And like I said before, family members I know have gone into kind of psychotic episodes, and it's just always fascinated me because, again, I never had psychotic episodes. My psychotic episodes, in a sense, came from the decisions I was making, not from the weed itself. So yeah, very bizarre how people's brain chemistry work, how everyone's a little bit different and how they react to weed. And I know a lot of people when they start smoking, they either can't get high. I mean, there's two camps of people. They either get blazed the first time, I got toasted, or they don't get high at all. And I think once people can push past that a couple weeks, it seems, or a couple smoke sessions, they end up getting high eventually. A lot of people, yeah, they just get paranoid and they don't fall into the habitual habit of using it chronically. It's very, very interesting to see. Like I said, I've seen like three camps of people in terms of the using space. People that either can only smoke and they don't really like drinking. That was me. For some reason, I did not like drinking very much. Didn't do much for me. It actually made me more depressed. Like they say it's a depressant. So, and however, I really felt that those depressive effects. Then there's the other camp of people that only like to get drunk and they don't like to get stoned. I know a lot of people like that, like people like as they get older and into their day, like a lot of my friends now, as we're getting into our 30s, they're pretty regular drinkers. And I say friends, this is like old friends. However, they never really got into smoking. So that was very interesting to see. And then there's the people that are in the middle. So I have people like that in my fraternity and in college that, and yeah, roommates and stuff that were able to drink and smoke and loved both. It just blew my mind. I was like, so always wanted to kind of see what it would be like to be in one of those brain chemistries of the other, to see what that's like, and like how like smoking pot might not be enjoyable or how drinking would be very enjoyable, because for me it wasn't. So again, comment down below what your thoughts were. This is a fun video to make. Let me know if you want some more of these. We can do some more reaction videos on other crazy topics like this. And guys, if you didn't know from the last one, Snoop Dogg did not quit smoking weed. It was a publicity stunt to sell his product. So too bad. Unfortunately, we thought Snoop was on the path, but he's back on the streets. So with that, guys, talk to you in the next one. Peace.